As per usual, I am very excited to share with you today's recipe. Now, this recipe is from the Australian website delicious.com, and it quickly became one of my favorites, so I want to share it with you guys. This is a spiced carrot cake with a ricotta frosting. I know, it's amazing, so let's get started. As per usual, I've preheated the oven and it is at 350 degrees. Next, we move on to the dry. In a large bowl, you are going to add 3.5 cups or 350 grams of almond flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And I'm just gonna whisk it up. Whisk, get everything nicely incorporated, and that's that. In a separate bowl, I am going to combine my 3 eggs. I got a shell in there. Beauty. Half a cup or 125 milliliters of maple syrup, a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then to this I'm just gonna add the zest of half of my orange. I almost said lemon. Half of the orange, and then I'm gonna cut it in half and put the juice of 1/2 of the orange in the bowl. It smells so good. As a matter of fact, it smells like Christmas. One quick whisk, just to break up the eggs. Let's bring the dry back in. All right, let me get my spoon. Then we are going to build a nice little hole in the middle. Pour in our wet and mix, of course, just until combined. Okay, so that's looking good, but of course, it's not a carrot cake without carrots. So this, I think, is about 4 cups or 3.5. Either way, it's 500 grams of shredded carrots. Goes right in. Make sure they're all incorporated. You got one more element. 1/3 cup or 50 grams of pumpkin seeds, toasted. Smells absolutely gorgeous. Done. Now I'm gonna transfer the batter to my 9-inch springform cake pan. Now this is of course gonna be a denser cake because you've got the almond flour, but it's also gonna have to bake longer because you've got so much carrots. So much carrots? So much carrot. This is going to go in for about 1 hour and 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Here we go. Awesome, the cake has cooled. I stuck it into the fridge for about 1 hour, so it is very nice and cool to the touch, ready for the icing. So let's put this aside momentarily and get into the icing. We are using ricotta cheese, like I said. So that's gonna go into a bowl, 200 grams or about 3/4 cup of ricotta cheese, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, and along with the maple syrup, I also added half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you're just gonna mix until smooth. Okay, and when you've got that as smooth as you can possibly make it, bring your carrot cake back over and you're just gonna add the icing right on top. I brought the orange and the zester back because we're gonna add just a little bit of orange zest, make it look pretty. And then we're also gonna add in just a couple of the toasted pumpkin seeds and some newly toasted almond slices. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Stop, 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 stop. Okay.
I woke up this morning
I mean, this cake just feels like one of the most simplistic and most beautiful cakes. I like to think of it as like bougie and rustic at the same time. This is not your average carrot cake. And just as a warning for you sweet lovers like I am, this is not a sweet cake at all. If you want to add a little more sweetness, then definitely add in a couple more tablespoons of the maple syrup. And you know what? When you do that, leave a comment down below and let me know what it tastes like. All right, people, happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Yes, I'm coming home to you.